Problem 1. Compute the average hourly cost to a contractor of an iron worker involved in a structural steel erection in a subsistence area. The iron workers work on the second shift of a 3-shift job and work 6 10-hour days per week. The workers work 7 hours and are paid 8 hours, so they paid for the 1 hour break. And under shift pay agreement, the overtime is double time, so it means that get double pay for the overtime work. The base rate is $19.20 per hour, and the subsistence is $20 per day. Additional public liability (PL) and property damage (PD) insurance for $50,000 and $100,000 is desired. Use 7.65% FICA, Social Security basically, and 5% for unemployment insurance. Note, use the data in the next page. In your worksheet, we have a page for the information to determine the fringe, workman compensations, public liability, property liability, etc. So let's go back to this problem here. Now let's abbreviate straight time (ST) and premium time for the overtime hours that we call PT. So with this problem, the iron workers work 6 10-hour days per week. So it means that they work Monday through Friday for 5 days and Saturday 1 more day. So we have 6 days per week. And each days, the iron worker work 10 hours per day. So with that one, the hour work for the Monday, Fridays, we have 5 days, and each day work 7 hours for the standard time, and then another 3 hours for the total 10 hours per day. And because the workers work 7 hours and are paid 8 hours, that way the first 7 hours consider a regular time, and then the 3 hours out of 10 hours consider premium time. So with that one, we have the standard hours. For the first one, the first 7 hours, it become paid for 8 hours at the problem with us. So we have 5 times 8. Worker work 8 hours and are paid for 8 hours. So with that one, we have 40 hours. And then the next 3 hours have paid double. So the first one is the regular time, and then the other is double. So we have another one, 5 times 3 equal to 15 hours. So for the overtime work. And of course, for the standard hours, for the first 7 hours, no premium hours, that you have that in here. And Saturdays, because Saturday is weekend, so everything is premium time. So you have 1 day time for 7 days, and of course we have also 1 day time for 3 hours. And that one equal to, in this way, 35 equal 15. And that one we have equal to 7 and equal 3. So the first 7 hours will be paid for 8 hours. So we have 8. And the overtime hours we have double. So the first is standard 3, and of course paid another 3 hours. So because Saturday, so we have 1 day and pay another double 1 for 8 hours. So you have that 8 hours. And the next 3 hours, 1 times 1 day Saturdays, another time for the premium hours, and then time 3, you have 3 hours. So when we add up, this worker actually work is 60 hours, 35 plus 15 equal to 50 plus 7 plus 3 equal to 6 hours. However, the pay for the standard hour will be 66 hours, 40 plus 15 plus 8 plus 3, 66. And also will be paid for the premium hours, that it will be 15 plus 8 plus 3, you have 26 hours. So that's what we have for the hours work with the standard time hours and premium time hours. So with that one, we can get the gross pay. We can determine gross pay. This one, the worker get the base rate in $19.20 per hour. So you have that one is 19.20. With that 19.20, so we have the standard time at 66 hours, and you can see that here. And we also have premium time at 26 hours. So in this case, we have 66. So you have 66 times $19.20 per hour. So we have that is $1,267.20. And this is 26 times 19.20. We get 499.20. When we sum up, so we can get the gross pay, including both standard time and premium time. So we have that one, add them. So we get that numbers equal to $1,766.40. So that is gross pay, but that is what the worker received from the paycheck. From the contractor or employer, they have to pay fringe compensation for insurance, social security, unemployment insurance, subsistence, etc. So let's continue to figure that out. In terms of fringes, if you go to the reference for the worksheet here, we have what are the consider the fringe. We have pensions, we have, and that apply for iron worker, by the way. So we have iron worker, this is iron worker. So we have a pension, $1.1514. Then we have health and insurance, $1.30. Vacation, $1 per every hours of work. And then we have apprentice training, 14 cents. So with that one, we can go back to the problems. Health and welfare, I just showed you that it will be $1.30. And that for the hour of work 66 hours based on the standard time. And then we have pensions is $1.14 and for 66 hours. And vacation is $1 for every work hours. So we have 66. And then apprentices trainings, 14 cents for 66 hours. When you add all of that, we can have fringe. So that one is equal to $2.36.28. So that is fringes. And that's not enough. We need to determine the workers' compensation, public liability, and probability damage liability. and that we can also determine from the reference. So the worker compensation, continue with that, we have 29 18, and that based on the base rate, as you can see here, based on $100 of pay, $100 of pay. And then we can have public liability, $3, property damages, $1.18. And for the public liability, if the problem give us is 50,000, 100,000 desire, then we can have 50,000. We have to time for the public liability 1.59, and for the property damages 100,000, 50, 100,000, 1.30 times the base rate that show in the table, $3 and 138. So with that, we can go back to our problems. We can have the worker compensations from the table, and that per 100 pays, so 29, 18. Public liability, we have to time the factor. If 50,000, 100,000, 59 times $3, and this one is factor time the base rate, $1.88. This one we have $4.77, and this one is $2.44. From there we can get the total, including insurance for compensation, public liability, and property liability. So that is equal to, add all of them up here, we will get $36.39, and that, as I show you the note here, it applied for per rates applied per $100 of pay, so that we can have per $100 of payroll. And that $100 is only applied for the standard hours, not premium hours for the worker compensation, because you actually, the iron worker actually only exists on the site is standard hour. Premium time is just to pay extra money, but the physical time that the worker on site only 66 hours per week, as you can see in with here, including the lunch break, that at 7 hours of work it paid 8 hours. So with that one we can determine the worker compensation insurance, public liability insurance, property damages liability. It's equal to 36, 39 per 100. So we have to time which number? It is based on this hours. So let me make that note here. Based on the standard time, payment standard times, just only one star, one green star here. Then go back down, we can have that is 1267.20. So we have 1267.20, and that is the green star that show divide by 100, and that you will get $461.13. And then go to FICA for the insurance. In this case, the problem gives us a 4.65% for FICA and 5% for unemployment insurance. So with that one, we have FICA is 7.65%, and that equal to the gross paid time that percent, the gross paid plus the pay for the vacation, because that you will get. So vacation plus vacation. So that vacation that I put the second 2 stars, 2 green star in there. So we have that is, and $1 times 66, so it will be 66 here. So we have 66, and I put that $2 there, so you know where that come from. And that equal to 140.18. Similarly, unemployment 5% at the problem given, and with the same math, 66, 40, plus 66, and with the same 66 come from, and with that one you get the answer is 91.62. Subsistence, the problem give us is $20 per day, and we work 6 days per week. Then we can be able to have the subsistence is 6 days time $20 per day. Then 1 week we get, the iron worker get $120. So the total cost for this worker for 1 week equal to the base to pay from the payroll, the fringes, insurance including workers compensation insurance, just something happen, accident, public liability, property damages liability, FICA, it means social security, unemployment insurance, just like the pandemic. You can see many people file for unemployment benefit. You need to pay for that insurance before you get that. And then subsistence, and with that, this number we get is go to add on of that up, we get 2,815 and 61 cents, and that is for the 1 week per week. That is per week. So with that, we can determine the average hourly cost to contractor. It equal to actual cost incurred per week 2,815 and 61 cents divided by the actual work hours that the worker works is 60 hours. You see that 10 hours per day week. So that here 60. So this is per week, and this is 60 hours per week. Then it equal to $46.93 per hour. That answer. So bottom line of this, and you can see to show you with this problem, is the cost incurred per hours for the contractor is $46.93. Why the workers, the iron worker, only receive $19.20. So that you see that the fringe benefit, insurance, all of that create a lot of cost for to hire someone at the contractor, and same for any other job that we have it in there. So with that, we do problem 1 completely.